And that is this idea that the hunter-gatherer was psychic. They could travel on the astral highways to other planets and solar systems, and they could go into the past, and they could go into the future, and they could keep themselves warm when it was only 10 degrees out with no clothes and no fire. And they could communicate across vast distances without any telephones or anything. And they knew where the game were going to be, and it was a highly spiritualized existence. That's our destiny, not this crap called civilization, which has made us atrophy. We've lost our ability. This is what Cameron is touching with Avatar. He's touching into the deep nerve fiber and hitting us where it hurts. And this is where we're going. And it's inevitable. And I mean, it's going to come a lot sooner than people think, because the central organizing principle of this world, i.e. civilization, is now going away. An intermediate period between the end of civilization and the founding of this advanced hunter-gatherer race is going to be very painful, and we need to start preparing now. Terence used to say, we must live as if the apocalypse has already occurred. In other words, we must live the life that is going to be lived after the end, now, as examples to those, so that we can survive. And if the Aryans want to leave, let them go. They ruined the whole planet anyway.
Exactly. Go back to Mars.
Yeah, have fun. Good riddance. Yeah. And I hope Obama takes a pot shot at him as they're leaving.
That's funny. I wanted to talk a little bit about symbolism, about esoteric symbolism, about occult symbolism. And, you know, on the internet, I mean, there's really kind of like, I would say 1.5 camps. There's one camp which is completely anti-Illuminati, anti-symbolism. It's all of the devil. It's all Satan. It's all Lucifer, and leave it alone. And I, quite frankly, I find it to be slightly dismissive, because what it does is it kills any kind of intelligence and curiosity. I mean, we're humans. We're curious. We want to know these things, you know? And I feel like that there's a more enlightened and more compassionate and certainly a more strategic understanding about symbolism than just simply denying it and then going towards this monotheistic, you know, mostly Old Testament God. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, you know, what happened is that the religions that the monotheistic religions, those are creations of the Aryans. They were called the archons by the Gnostics, and they're simply were created as societal. No, I'm going to say this. Quit blocking me with the static. Societal organizing principle. Okay. In other words, if you were Rome and you had to control an outpost in, say, Austria, it's much easier, instead of putting 10,000 troops on the ground in Austria, it's much easier to create a religion which makes you subservient to a God who happens to agree with everything the Romans do. And so that's what these religions were doing. They were part of the central organizing principle of the Aryans, completely contrived, based on, you know, bizarre permutations of the ancient myths of sex between the Aryans or the gods and the humans, which is really where the Jesus story comes from. So, you know, I'm probably pissing off a lot of people here, but I mean, I'm just facing facts. And the fact is that the Gnostics were the second biggest religion on earth 2,000 years ago, with the Vedics, or we call them now the Hindus, being the largest at the time. And the Gnostics are completely gone, vanished from history. You can take an entire 4-year course in religion at a major university and touch on the Gnostics for maybe 20 minutes. One of the major religions on earth has been completely wiped out, and everybody in the Gnostic religion has been killed, murdered, and their books and libraries burned and destroyed. And so you have to ask yourself, well, why? What were the Gnostics teaching? And the Gnostics were teaching that there was an off-planet race called the Archons who moved here and were manipulating us and were anti-Earth. They hated Sophia and they were raping her. And they worship Sophia, or the Earth. And that's who we are. We're the Gnostics. We just don't know it because our very ancestral, history has been ripped out from us and replaced with these phony Messiah religions designed to get us to do nothing because a Messiah is mysteriously going to come in and save us at the last minute. And it just isn't going to happen. No aliens are going to come. No cavalry's coming. No politician's going to save us. For sure, no Messiah is coming to save us. And that is an affectation of the Aryans, making us helpless in the face of incredible disaster which we're facing right now. So these people who are claiming that, this is all dark magic and everything, they don't get it. They don't understand. Yes, the Aryans and the manipulators and their managers are dark magicians who use the knowledge of multidimensional states in order to foster a fake reality that we all succumb to. But we each have the ability to create our own world, our own reality. That's the magic. And if we let them define what we're going to look at and what we're not going to look at based on fear or based on the fact that they might be Luciferian or satanic, then we are just being ridiculous. We don't have the power of discernment to look into magic and not do it in an evil way. Is that what you're saying? No, that's ridiculous. You can do magical things in your life using multidimensional powers and not do it in a manipulative way. And that is, again, more Aryan BS. And
right.
Anyone, and these people are preaching Aryan BS, and they don't even know it. They've succumbed to their own devil. And that's all I can say. I mean, and they're attacking Cameron, and they're calling him the Antichrist and all this. You know what? It's the monotheistic religions that came in and killed culture after culture, not just all the people, but their culture, their music, their language, everything. And they did it with a vengeance which has never been seen in human history. And I pull no quarter with these people. I respect their right to worship whatever way they want. But if they're not going to face up to their own history, their own past, and realize why we are rejecting that past, then they've got their own problems to work out, and I hope the best for them. But I'm not going to hide and say that these monotheistic religions are anything but a creation of dictators and kings and people just using it to control us. And look at the churches and look what they're doing. And it doesn't, not just the Catholics. Look at the Islam and look at Judaism and look at really take a long look at the madness of these religions. And I'm sorry, they're insane. And I just, I think we need to go back to a Gnosticism of where we worship the earth. And I'm telling you, Avatar is a sign that it is coming.
Yeah.
It is the new religion. The new religion is going to be nature. The cities are going to empty out. You're going to see people moving quickly back into the country. You're going to see a lot of strife and war and killing in the inner cities. It's already happening with these flash riots, which are starting up now. And we're going to see some very terrible things. And I encourage people to take care of business and take care of their families and get out into the country and get away, because you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. And if you think it's not coming, you're wrong. It is coming. There is no central organizing principle anymore.
The coming food shortage is really what's going to trigger it, Jay.
You got it. That's right. Exactly right. Right now we are China. Used to be the United States had 3 to 5 years of food in storage. We're now less than a year. Yeah. China is 2 months away from starvation. That's how much food they got stored. You know, we need to grow our own. We're working in our communities. We're growing gardens. You know, we're creating water harvesting. It's time to move into this next world, and it's going to be a world where we worship the earth, and we're going to need the earth and everything she's got, and we've got to replace the systems that have been severely damaged by the civilization, and this is the task ahead of us. And the boomer generation, my generation, has to get with it. We need elders. We need people to lead, and not a bunch of selfish, sex-crazed drug addicts. We need people who really have a mature sense and care about what this species is, where this species is going. I mean,
yeah, I agree. Well, I think somebody cares about the species, and they're on the other line. I think they want to say something to you, Jay. Right. Hi, you're on Free Association with Robert. Do you have something you'd like to share with Jay or ask a question?
Hello?
Hello, you're on the air.
I thought I wanted to like get a reading or something.
Oh, you know, this is not the evening for that. We're talking with Jay Weidner, and you can call back on Wednesday when I navigate the astrological matrix. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot. I do astrology readings for people on Wednesday. Jay. So I think he got a little caught in the crosshairs there, or a little miscommunication. But no, you know, you're right, and you know, I just saw today where for whatever reason these guys down in Florida destroyed the strawberry crops. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you should check this out. There's a lot of uproar now where they had, I'm not sure what the purpose was, but they just recently destroyed, I just caught this as a headline, a major strawberry harvest down in Florida. And it's like, well, why would you want to do that? You know, I mean, it's just, you know, I think what we're seeing now is, you know, with something like that, with, you know, this incredible winter that we've had, whether it's real or artificial, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But, you know, this is going to be a very interesting spring and summer. They're actually predicting what's called the barbecue summer, which is going to be incredibly hot temperatures. So I think 2010 is going to be I always thought 2010 was going to be a very pivotal year. In many ways, in some ways more important than 2012, actually.
Yeah, that's what Robert Lawler thinks. He thinks that we're actually entering into Aquarius this year. That we're this is the first year that we're fully into Aquarius, and that the Christian paradigm, the collapse of the Christian paradigm, he told us last year that it would become incredibly apparent in 2010. And boy, what's happening with the Pope right now, you can just really see that the ending for this whole thing is at hand. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, the Pope is in hot water for sure. I mean,
he is, and he should be. And I have no, you know, I'm sorry. I was raised a Catholic, but I'm sorry for him. But you know what? He deserves everything he's getting. And
well, yeah. And if we could just liberate those poor people in Palestine and get them the hell out of there, or change that situation, I mean, that's just a nightmare. I mean, my God.
It really is. Everywhere you go, you see the same pattern, and they don't care. In fact, the Palestinians are actually dressing up as the Na'vi.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Yeah, and I know a person who went to the opening night of Avatar in Jerusalem, and the movie ended, and he said that it was so quiet. He said nobody did anything for like 5 minutes, and then finally people started getting up and leaving.
Wow! Wow! That's profound. Contact with the shadow. We've got somebody on the line here. We only have about 15 minutes left.